So let me share my screen. So thank you for having me. Good morning. Before I do that, like I've been introduced, my name is Donna San Miguel, and I am the Executive Director for Recruitment and Outreach on campus. I am new to my role, but I have been on campus for 13 years now. So that's exciting, and we've seen a lot of transition, especially this year. So I'm excited to share with you and all of your students this information. Also, fun fact, I was sharing with your president, Mayra, that when I was in high school, I was a RILA student. So I was able to participate in that. And I believe the Rotary also gave me a scholarship. And that was back in Southern Arizona where I received that. So thank you for that. I'm a long supporter of Rotary. So thank you. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Can you all see that? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so just some, this is not advanced. Okay. So just some information about Cal State San Marcos. We are the Cougars. So you can see Crash up there at the top of the screen. And we are located in North County, San Diego. So a lot of people aren't quite clear where we are. We're in between Oceanside and Escondido off of the 78. We're about 13 miles away from the beach. So that's pretty close, a lot closer than we are up here. And our popular majors where students are excited about is kinesiology, nursing, business administration, kinesiology, biological sciences, and communication. We have about 14,000 students, actually over 14,000 students that attend Cal State San Marcos. Right now, we are all virtual. We are set to be virtual for the spring semester, but after that, we're not really sure what will happen. We are taking advisement from the county health offices, and not only in San Marcos and San Diego, but also Riverside County. And once we know more information, we will definitely share that. We'll update our website. We have two housing residential life opportunities for our students, the Quad and University Village apartments. And right now we have about 200 students on campus. So normally there's about, I believe there's 1,100 beds on campus. And right now we're only at 200 students, and that's just due to COVID restrictions to honor the safety and health of all of our students, our staff, our faculty, and about 2,000 students are attending in-person laboratory classes. Because it's a little bit difficult to do labs and those types of courses virtually, so we have to have some in-person class time. And in relation to that, teaching and research labs, we have over 150 of them because we really like to focus on that experiential learning, hands-on learning, that really let the students use what they're learning in the classroom and put it into practice. So we're excited about that. So it's not just lectures, there is a lot of opportunities to interact with the faculty, do research, and the labs. So we have 13 sports teams. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, and overall 34 bachelor's programs. So those are generally 4-year programs that we have on campus, and we'll talk a little bit more about that further on. So a little bit points of pride for us. We have about 80% of our alumni that stay locally. So the students that attend Cal State San Marcos are staying locally, contributing to the local economy, contributing to the quality of life. So really excited and proud about that. Carnegie Foundation has awarded us a community engagement classification. So we're really excited about that. And what that means is that we are really involved with our community. We partner with our local community, with our city governments and our local businesses and just the community at large. So we're really excited to hold that designation. And we're proud that we have a sustainable food garden. So a lot of our students get the opportunity to get free food from our garden. So we're excited about that. We received a $15,000 donation to put that together. And our leading research in some of our programs, which include kinesiology, which is essentially a study of movement, and it combines physiology and mechanics to better understand and help surfers increase their performance. So we're excited about the research that our faculty are doing, and our students really get to participate in that. So that's experience that they take away with them for their future careers and future endeavors, whether it's continuing research or going into the workforce. And then the thing that we are most excited about is our Viasat Engineering Pavilion. So we just launched our engineering majors. This has been a long time coming. Tons of people are asking about, when are you getting engineering? So we are starting off with software engineering and electrical engineering. So we're excited about that. I know a lot of our students are excited. It is quickly filling up. It is turning into an impacted major. So we do want to let students know that. And we'll talk a little bit about impaction further on. So freshman admissions, I know this is a question that a lot of people have, and I'll spend a little bit of time on this slide because we'll talk a little bit about the application and how to fill that out. So the application just opened up October 1st. The deadline to submit it is December 4th, and this is for August 2021 start. So this is, you're applying now for a whole year, for a year from now. A lot of people don't realize that it's so early and then they miss the deadline. So making sure you keep those in mind, especially if you're applying to other institutions that are not CSU, you want to check out those deadlines. But of course, we want you to come to CSU. So don't miss the December 4th deadline. We do focus on our local service area, which includes the Temecula Valley. I myself live in the Valley as well, so I'm proud to be a community member here. But they also include Orange County and San Diego County, so in addition to the Riverside. And so what that means is that we focus on admissions for those students coming out of those areas. So essentially you get priority. So as long as you meet the requirements, which are completing the A through G requirements with a C or higher, and completing your high school or earning your high school diploma or GED, you are admissible to Cal State San Marcos. So just wanting to make sure that you understand that so that everybody can apply. A lot of people are not sure and they're like, well, I don't know if I qualify. We're looking at A through G requirements, and then that you've received a C or better. So definitely submit your application and we will review your information and determine your eligibility. And we hope, the sooner you apply and the sooner you submit your transcripts, your information, we can go ahead and let you know sooner rather than later. So we have, for fall 2021, we have suspended the use of SAT and ACT test scores. So we are not taking those tests into consideration for admissions criteria, so you don't have to worry about them. However, if you did take them, we will use them for placement into your English and math courses. So they're still useful. If you have taken them, please send in the information so that we can help place you in the correct math and English courses. Past the 2020-21-22 school year, we're not really sure what's going to happen with the test scores, but right now that's what it is. I had mentioned impaction earlier. So impaction means that we have more students applying for those majors than we have spots available. And so the impacted majors are biological science, biotechnology, business, electrical engineering, kinesiology, nursing, and software engineering. So we do have a lot of students that are interested in those majors specifically. So you have an opportunity to apply for them. You want to make sure that you're as competitive as possible. So really focusing on your studies, making sure you are earning A's and really contributing to that field, the majors, when you're part of those programs. So just wanting to let people know. So if you, for some reason, do not get into the programs, you can always look into the other majors that are related. There are a lot of opportunities for you to get to your end game. I like to tell students or remind students to, think about what's your end game. What is it that you want to do once you graduate? Yes, college is a big part, and exploring, trying to figure that out, but what ultimately do you want to do once you graduate? And kind of re-engineer that backwards and figure out which majors will plug you into those areas. Not only majors, but what type of networking opportunities, what type of student organizations will get you that opportunity as well. So I like to encourage students to think about that early on, so that they have an idea of where it is that they're going. And if you don't have an idea, if you're like me, when I went to school, I had no idea what I was going to major in, and I even changed my major about 4 different times. So I totally get it. And so the Career Center is a great resource to help you kind of sort that out. They have several assessments, several personality tests that you can take to kind of help you figure out what area you would be good at, what skill set you have. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to kind of grow and explore the different areas that you may want to go into. So a little bit about the application. It is calstate.edu/apply. That's where you submit your application. And in that application, you can apply to all 23 campuses within the CSU system. So we have 23 all up and down California, all the way up to, Arcadia, and down to San Diego State. So you have tons to choose from. Someone will have the major, the program that you're interested in. So what you'll need is a copy of your unofficial transcript, because you will have to enter all of your coursework into the application. We recommend you using your California statewide student ID. And what that does is it helps to link the information together so that it's easier to transfer the information into the CSU Apply, or excuse me, the Cal State Apply website. So definitely encourage you to do that, and then that way you don't have to manually enter everything. If you have your test scores, like I mentioned, again, you'll want to know the information to enter into the application. If you have a social security number, make sure you enter that. If you don't, it's okay. It's not required. You will need to pay for the application fee. So there is $70 application fee for each application within the CSU system. So if you apply for all 23, it'll be $70 for all 23. There is a portion in the application that asks about your income. When you enter that information, it helps to determine if you're eligible for a application fee waiver. And so you can get up to 3 application fee waivers using that system. And the system just automatically is programmed to know if you qualify or not based on the information that you enter. So definitely don't skip that part, because you may be eligible for a fee waiver. And then it also asks about your parents' information, so employment background and citizenship status, and that's mainly dealing with the Educational Opportunity Program. So we have special programs, and we'll talk a little bit more about that further on. We have specialized programs that help support our students, and we're really excited about those. The newest one is our coaching program. So first-time students have the opportunity to participate in our coaching program, where they get assigned a coach for their first year. And this is really meant to support them through their first year, help them navigate higher education in Cal State San Marcos, and really connect them to the resources that they need. Check in on them if they notice, hey, they're missing classes, or, we noticed that they're not participating in this activity that they were participating. So it's an opportunity to really help students navigate and we're really excited about that. So keep an eye out for those types of emails. Once you get admitted into the university, they'll start sending you communication for participation into the coaching program. Okay, let's see. So we won't talk about transfer students. So these are some of the additional campus resources that we have. So we have everything from academic advising to veteran services, and that includes active duty veterans and dependents of veterans. So lots of services to help support students. Campus life, student life and leadership. I know I was asked to talk a little bit about that. So we have over 140 student organizations. We have fraternity and sorority life. We have leadership programs, multicultural programs. I myself advise 2 organizations on campus, Nu Alpha Kappa and Alpha Pi Sigma. So those are fraternity and sorority. And so that's exciting to participate and just kind of see what students are doing and help contribute to their leadership development. So I love participating with those 2 organizations. And if you don't see a club or organization that you want to join on there, you can always create your own. So that's an opportunity that we have for you to showcase your leadership and just start an organization. So, okay. So these are our additional services that I had mentioned, the Academic Success Center, which are all of our tutoring services. So we offer tutoring for math, for English, for science. So those are all housed within our Academic Success Center. We also have services for students who are former foster youth. ACE Scholars helps students, similar to the coaching program, it helps students navigate our institution, also provides funding opportunities. So highly encourage students to look at that if you identify with that service. We also have the College Assistant Migrant Program that works with migrant families to support them through the educational process as well. Educational Opportunity Program, which we talked about a little bit earlier. And then we have global programs and services. And I really like to emphasize this one because when I was an undergraduate student, I didn't really think that I could travel abroad. I didn't really think that I thought I had too many responsibilities when I was an undergraduate. I lived in residential housing and just had my job on campus. So I wasn't too crazy in comparison to life now. But I always thought that I couldn't travel abroad. And so that's one thing that I always encourage students to do. If you have an opportunity to go study abroad, do that. We have different programs where you can go one semester. We have programs that you can do year-long. There's scholarship opportunities through the Gilman organization, and your financial aid will help that as well. So I didn't understand that either. So I always like to let students know you can use your financial aid that you're getting to go to school regularly here and use it to go abroad. So a lot of students don't realize that, and I think they miss out on an opportunity. We also have Pathways to Academic Success and Opportunities, and this program supports Latinx students to help them again navigate through Cal State San Marcos. And then for students who are, struggling and need a little bit of extra academic support, we have personalized academic success services, and they will help you find tutors. They will help you on whatever it is that you're struggling, work with your faculty to find additional resources and get you the help that you need. And then I had already mentioned the Veteran Center, which is the Epstein Family Veteran Center. They donated to expand that for our students. So we're excited about that. I think I have a couple more minutes, so I'll go through these slides a little bit quickly. Like I mentioned, we do have housing on campus. They are apartment style, so students cook for themselves. We do have food on campus at our university students, our USU, University Student Union. And so you can buy food there if you're not really into cooking or you don't know how to cook yet, but you will definitely get the opportunity to learn. Laundry is free in residential housing, and there's an app that it'll tell you when your laundry is finished. I know when I lived in residential housing, my towels got stolen because I fell asleep and I forgot, and then I didn't have my towels when they went back. So they will tell you in your app when your laundry is done. So that's kind of cool. And so we'll be having a webinar regarding housing later, so we can definitely send you all the information. Financial aid and scholarships, making sure that you apply. The application just opened up in October. There is no deadline. There's always a new application becoming available, but we want to make sure that you apply sooner rather than later. Some of our financial aid is available on a first come, first serve. We get an allocation from the state, and once it's gone, it's gone. So you want to make sure that you apply early and you apply every year. So this is a new application that you have to do every single year to qualify for federal financial aid, for state, which is the FAFSA. And usually our financial aid office reaches out to your high schools and conducts presentations and workshops with you. So I'm sure we will be having those this year. So don't forget to keep an eye out for that. We have our general scholarship application, which is one application for all of the scholarships available at Cal State San Marcos. And so we encourage you to fill that out as well, making sure that for every single scholarship application that you're applying for, you are answering the question that's in the essay prompt. I have served on so many scholarship committees where the students have recycled essays, and you can tell, mainly because they don't answer the question that's there. So making sure you realize that you want to take the time to really write that, really get it edited, really imagine you're trying to get an A on a paper, right? That's what you want. That's the type of focus you want to have on these scholarship applications, because you could be getting $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. So what type of, the return for your investment is really, really good. So I encourage you to do that. For students who are undocumented, we have the California Dream Act application, and that is also available for you. So we encourage you to fill that out. That is grant money to help cover your tuition. And then, other institutions, other organizations will also have scholarship opportunities for you. So make sure you check that out regularly. Let's see. Oh, and our scope code for the FAFSA is 030113. Just a lot of people ask that. That's a commonly asked question. I briefly mentioned our sports teams. We are NCAA Division II, CCAA. We have baseball, basketball, cross country, golf, soccer, softball, track and field, and volleyball, women's volleyball specifically. So we are currently not participating in any sporting events due to COVID. However, we are still intaking students into these programs. So we still have a program. We're still helping students navigate through these times and really supporting them, because it's difficult, when students identify as student athletes and they're not able to compete, it can be difficult. So we're just helping them navigate through that. So there's a lot of resources available through our athletics program. So if you are interested in playing in one of those sports, definitely look into it. So we're excited about that. Okay, I'll take 1 more minute. So just as a reminder, application is October 1st through December 4th, closes on December 4th. Make sure you submit your FAFSA no later than March 2nd. You can submit it after, but do it by March 2nd. And then I would also like to invite you to discover CSUSM on October 17th. So on that day, you will have an opportunity to hear and ask questions of the financial aid office, of each of our colleges, of our leadership opportunities. So there will be tons of folks there ready to answer your questions. So we invite you to register on our Discover CSUSM website. If you go onto our main page, www.csusm.edu, and you search Discover, you'll be able to find the information on there. That's the easiest way. And then we will start admitting in November. So starting in November, you'll be able to hear, and then we'll keep rolling that. So we'll just keep doing rolling admissions until we finish. And then don't forget to turn in your final transcript by your initial transcript, because you won't be graduated in February, but turn that in by February 15th. And then once you're admitted, we invite you to an open house, and that'll be in April. We'll send you the information once you're admitted. And then don't forget, there is an enrollment deposit. Most institutions have an enrollment deposit, and that's your commitment that you're coming to the institution so that we know to reserve your spot. And it's $150. It is non-refundable if you change your mind that you don't want to come to Cal State San Marcos, but if you do come, it's not something that we keep. It just goes to pay your tuition directly. And then lastly, the deadline to submit your final official transcript is July 15th. So want to make sure you don't miss those deadlines. A lot of students do miss the deadlines. Keep those in your phone, in a planner, because that's the #1 reason why students don't go to college or they don't finalize that process, is because they forget the deadline. So there is no mercy if you miss them. So make sure you know all of them. We have an opportunity for you to visit with our recruitment and admissions officers. So we invite you to make appointments if you have any questions. We have virtual tours. We have our virtual welcome center. So this is our contact information, and we invite you to connect with us. If you have any questions, we're happy to help. We're happy to meet with you. Thank you so much for having me. And I don't know if the audience has any questions for me, or I'll turn it over to President Maida.
Thank you, Donna. Does anybody have any questions for Donna?
I do. Do you have a Rotaract there?
We do.
Thank you.
We do have a Rotaract. And that's at our main campus.
And who is it sponsored by?
It is sponsored by, I think, the San Marcos. Let's see.
Makes sense.
But is it the morning Rotary?
Well, they won't have one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Afternoon. You will find that is great that I just wrote down Rotary Club ? You just answered it. Thank you, Marty, for that question.
Or are there several clubs maybe that sponsor it?
Let's see.
That could be true also. Okay.
Let's see. She's looking for that. Does anyone else have a question?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Chris.
How to whom is available the career center? Like my son, he graduated this past year during COVID, and he's my wife too, for that matter. They've been looking at wanting to take like some kind of a career assessment, or figuring out what they want to do when they grow up.
Yeah. Definitely. So it is open to our alumni. If students have recently graduated, they can definitely take advantage of that. I believe it's like the rest of that year. And then for future use, they would need to become members of the Alumni Association. And then they can just have access to it as long as they're members of the Alumni Association. So they can definitely access it.
Figure out like what he wants to be. I mean, he's just turned 18. He's just out of school, so he wants to take a test or whatever, something like that. I mean, is that? It sounds like you already have to be in school to do that. I thought the point was to figure out what you want to do to go to school.
Definitely. So our resources are unfortunately limited, so we can't offer it to the general public. It is it's funded by student fees as well. So it is mainly for our students that are currently there. But I believe the high school counselors may also have something similar. I know that they've done different things with students in the past that they've shared with us. So I would encourage him to visit his high school counseling center and see if there's an opportunity to take any sort of assessment or kind of talk to someone.
Thank you so much.
He's already graduated, but thanks.
Thank you, Donna.